What's up, motherfuckers? I was 2 minutes and 35 seconds into a video that I was recording, right? That video was going to be a review of night 1 of Wrestle Kingdom 14. But I had to cut that bitch out and just make another video instead because I don't think, like I was talking about the first match in that video, the old man match, if anyone watched, and I just realized while talking about it that no one gives a fuck, man. So instead, we're going to talk about a broader thing, right? We're going to talk about what I call the New Japan Pro Wrestling problem, motherfuckers. The problem that this company has created, right? I blame this company, right, for the existence of that other company called AEW, you understand me? This company has given a platform to shitty wrestlers who are treated as great wrestlers. And for the first time in a long time, my eyes have been opened. I was watching this event, Wrestle Kingdom 1, like night 1. I don't think I'm going to watch night 2. Or if I do, it'll just be because I can't fall asleep because I have like a weird sleep schedule because of the holidays now. But that's the only reason. I'm not looking forward to it. I couldn't give a fuck. You understand what I'm saying? It was not good at all, man. It just everything wrong with wrestling happened in this this show. And Don Callis or whoever the fuck, one of the announcers was like, I have no doubts that this is the best professional wrestling in the world. And that's the problem, right? The real problem here isn't like, all right, look, nobody would have any issue with AEW if all they're doing is just trying to have a wrestling company, right? Like at the end of the day, it's like, why would the hater hate someone who's just trying to do something, right? I don't, right? I only hate the specifics of places like AEW and New Japan that make the product and more importantly, the fan base become insane and stupid, right? So I have no issue with Cody Rhodes being an executive, but I'm not going to sit here and pretend that he's a good one. You know what I mean? I'm not going to sit here and pretend he's a good wrestler either, you know? I'm going to say it like I want to say it, but there's nothing wrong with him trying, right? But when something is so clearly shitty, right? So clearly shitty, and the announcer or any other figure just tries to tell you this is the greatest wrestling you've ever seen in your life, right? Like you see it and you're like, what the fuck? Did you watch the same thing as me? Because what I watched was complete garbage, you know? And I was going to review the show, but honestly, I think it was so bad that there's no point in reviewing it. Like most people don't even give a fuck, you know? People might care about the last 3 matches. I'll just talk about the problem, right? The problems that were clear in this show, but there are just more general problems with New Japan. Number 1, right? Every fucking New Japan show opens up with like a 10-man tag match, right? And it's always like either complete jobber nobodies with like who aren't allowed to have a character. I don't like that either. I don't like how New Japan and Japan in general like inserts honor into pro wrestling, right? They insert this kind of like mentorship, like you're not ready, like program. What the fuck? Get the fuck out of here. Like if someone is good, why the hell should they have to go and do like a tour overseas and systemically, motherfuckers, systemically held down by the company? You know, talk about like people are like, oh, Vince McMahon holds down talent. New Japan literally does not allow their wrestlers to do anything other than like 10 moves that they've pre-selected for them and wear black trunks. New Japan literally holds down the wrestlers, right? So if New Japan got lucky and they got like, I don't know, fucking like Velveteen Dream, right? He's like in his early 20s and he was like, I think he was like in his late teens. He was like 19 or maybe 20 when he signed to WWE. Now imagine him just going and doing this in New Japan. They'd be like, all right, you gotta wear black trunks. You can't have a gimmick. You're gonna lose to like fucking Hiroki Goto, right? And then we're gonna send you to like, you know, CMLLL or whatever the fuck it is in Mexico, and that's where you're gonna develop a character, right? And then he would come back as like the ticking time bomb, Hiromu Tanahashi. Are you fucking kidding me? Like you're literally holding them back. And why do they hold them back? So old people in their like 50s and 60s can continue their careers, right? And this is what happens in every show. And if that's not happening, it's gonna be some other kind of bullshit where you have people like that are just old fighting each other in completely meaningless matches, you know? So like, I didn't watch the pre-show of Wrestle Kingdom Night 1, but I can see here on Wikipedia that one of the matches was Hiroyoshi Tenzan and Satoshi Kojima, who've been tagging together for like forever, versus Yuji Nagata and Manabu Nakanishi, right? These are just old people, man. Like, who cares if Tenkozy wins or loses this match? Who cares, man? Like they're not entertaining. They're not good in the ring because they're old now, right? There's no need to have them here, right? But they have them just as part of this ridiculous system of holding people back and pushing people that should be pushed. Like, compare it to, I don't know, what's his face? Minoru Suzuki, right? Minoru Suzuki is someone that, like, he's old, but he's good. He's presented as a guy that can wrestle like Okada and can wrestle fucking Tanahashi and things like that, right? These other ones don't wrestle like the main guys, right? Whereas Minoru Suzuki can and does because he's not there because he's old. He's just there because he's good. So that's one problem that New Japan has, and that I think is bleeding a little bit into AEW up in this bitch, motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? Like AEW is becoming like that. And WWE also can be faulted for this, of like just holding on to old people, right? But AEW doesn't have old people to hold on to because they're like a 3-month-old company. So instead, what do? They hold on to like the old people of other companies. They're like, oh, DDP's here. Who gives a fuck? He hasn't wrestled in like 10 years. And I like DDP, but he hasn't wrestled in 10 years, and now he's just there like holding up like a ring. And then you have like fucking Bret Hart holding up a title. And for some reason, like the title gains prestige because he touched it, I guess. Whatever the case may be, right? So that's a big problem, man. It's a big problem having all this kind of bullshit in there, you know? We need more coherence, right? Another problem with New Japan, right? Other than they systemically hold back young wrestlers, right? A big problem with New Japan is the fact that these wrestlers do not look like wrestlers, man. They do not, and this is not the biggest problem. In a lot of scenarios, this is the biggest problem, right? Like the reason why, I don't know, fucking, let's see, Jungle Boy, for example, sucks, is because he doesn't look like a wrestler. But in the ring, Jungle Boy can do what he needs to do. You know, so if he looked great, I could see myself liking him maybe, you know? But in New Japan, they don't look like wrestlers, man. They look like shit. I was like, one of the reasons why I don't want to watch tonight, and this is like, it's fucked up, but it's true. They had a match. It was who was it? What the fuck's his name? Tetsuya Naito versus Jay White, right? And this match is for the New Japan IC title, right? And perhaps more importantly, the winner of this also becomes the #1 contender, right? And is in the main event of Wrestle Kingdom. Now, what the fuck does that even mean? You know what I mean? Like, just think about that. You have this guy, Jay White. He looks like Tony Nese, except less jacked. And then you have to hear like Don Callis being like, oh, he is shredded. And I'm like, no, he's not, dude. He's not shredded. He's like 165 pounds. Jay White is not this tough guy. You know, they're trying to, like, I understand in New Japan, you have all these like pudgy little dudes, right? But he's not this like super tough guy or anything like that at all. You know? So, but they have to push him like that. And then Tetsuya Naito, oh my God, man, this guy looked like a normal dude completely. This guy, like, he had like a gut. Right? His arms are not too muscular. This guy shouldn't be a wrestler. Straight up, man. He shouldn't be here. You know. And I liked Tetsuya Naito. He was one of my favorites for a while because he stands out in New Japan, where everyone is like tiny and stupid and like pretty shitty. Right? Another reason that I don't like New Japan is the fact that like the wrestlers, I'm gonna say it, motherfuckers, they're not that good. I don't give a rat's ass if Dave Meltzer says, oh, 10 stars out of 10, or 10 stars out of 5, man. They're not that good, man. I watched, what was it? It was Kota Ibushi versus Okada. I watched it this morning because I passed out last night. Well, I guess I passed out at like 7 a.m. and I watched it this afternoon, I should say, around like 2 p.m. or something, right? And I was watching it with my girlfriend, but she wasn't really watching it. She was on her laptop. But she was like, this was the first time that she'd ever seen like Japanese wrestling. And she was like, oh, she's like, the American one, she's like, it seems more real to me, you know? Like in the American one, it looks like they're hitting each other. She's like, in this one, like they really aren't hitting each other. You know, like it's very clear. She's like, it's too dancey, was the word she used. It's too dancey. Because there was a part where Kota Ibushi did like a move and then did this like sequence of moonsault type things, right? And it was like, to me, it was impressive. But to my girlfriend, a complete casual, she's like, oh, this is too dancey and fake looking, right? And then there was a part where Kota Ibushi tried to do a moonsault, like a standing moonsault, and Okada was supposed to like catch him and tombstone him, right? But it botched completely. Like Kota Ibushi landed on his head by himself, and then Okada like lifted him up and then did a tombstone, right? It was just atrocious, man. Like Okada missed like a diving drop kick. There were so many mistakes in these matches, right? Some of the moves like the Destino looks like shit. Like no two Destinos look the same, right? Like he always does it like in a way where he botches something. He botches part of it. Like either the landing or the twist or the guy can barely lift him up. Like it never looks smooth. And it got me thinking, I'm thinking to myself, like we're watching Tetsuya Naito versus Jay White. And I was like, oh, the Destino is very similar to the Salida del Sol motherfuckers that Kalisto does. And it got me thinking, I'm like, Kalisto never botches that. You know, and Tony Nese is a better wrestler and much bigger. He's a cruiserweight, and he's a bigger man than Jay White. You know, so I'm like, what's better? Watching Tetsuya Naito versus Jay White, who came out of nowhere, by the way, and they keep telling me like, oh, Jay White, he's like the future. Why is he the future? What has he done that's so impressive? He's done nothing, man. He sucks. You know, and like, what's better, Jay White and Tetsuya Naito, or Tony Nese, motherfuckers, versus what's his face versus Kalisto? I think Tony Nese and Kalisto would put on a better match. I really do. Straight up. You know what I'm saying? And they look better. And they have gimmicks, right? This was just like a piece of shit, man. It was just a horrible, horrible event. I didn't like it at all. The only thing I liked, and I'm gonna be honest, is the match between Jon Moxley and Vance Hoyt, motherfuckers, or whatever they call him now. Lance Archer. I'll call him Vance Hoyt, right? That was great. I really enjoyed it because Vance Hoyt has a lot of moves, man. Straight up. This guy, he's awesome. You know, I didn't like his hair extensions, to be honest. But aside from that, I really enjoyed the match. Jon Moxley did his typical Jon Moxley things. But Lance Archer is so much bigger than him and so much more masculine than him that it's ridiculous. Like in real life, Jon Moxley would not last 35 seconds against this animal, right? And Lance Archer is out there doing like insane things, like choking Jon Moxley with like a plastic bag. I mean, he didn't really do it, of course, but like selling it, doing like choke slams, throwing him through chairs. And Jon Moxley hits a paradigm shift, whatever, like the Death Rider as it's called in fucking New Japan. He hits that on two tables. He did it well, you know, like he fell through one table and Lance Hoyt fell through another table. But other than that, man, this show was garbage. And I also like, never mind. I also like the Hiromu Takahashi versus Ospreay match. I will say that. I guess this has turned into a review up in this bitch, right? I enjoyed that match only because there actually was a story. Hiromu Takahashi, I mean, he's nothing special, honestly, but there's a story here. Like he's been out with for like a year with injury, and he's trying to get the title that he never lost back, right? And the real thing about this that was awesome was the fact that like at one point Hiromu Takahashi, he pulled out all the stops and he did like a new move. He had to pull out a new move, right, to beat Will Ospreay. And the implications, and the announcers made sure they pointed this out, the implications were that like while Hiromu was injured, he wasn't holding his balls. He was out there learning new moves. He was training, you know, like he couldn't come back as the same guy, right? Because you can't go away for a year and come back with nothing new. You know, that's just stupid, right? So he came back as like a newer version of himself with at least one new finisher, which I really like. Will Ospreay, I can't say enough good things about this kid, man. This kid's like, he's so athletic that it's crazy. Like he's a spot monkey. I'm not saying he's like a great wrestler, but he's big in the sense that he's tall, right? He's tall and he can do crazy things, man. Like this guy is definitely gonna get signed by WWE because he's a young guy too. So there's no doubt about it in my mind. He's got to be like in his mid-20s probably, right? I mean, if he gets rid of his like, you know, Kenny Omega mannerisms of just doing taunts like at every point, this guy's gonna go to WWE and he actually is gonna be a big deal, I think, you know, like because people like Ricochet have already failed, so who the fuck cares, right? But he might actually become something, right? And another thing, like that is a huge problem with New Japan, that was a problem with WWE, and people hated WWE for it, is the fact that like it's the fucking same shit every year, man. Like the last 3 matches of tomorrow, which is like the important event, are going to involve like Tetsuya Naito, Okada, Kota Ibushi, Jay White now, and like 2 other people, right? Like Jericho in this case, and Tanahashi. The 100% chance that the main event next year of Wrestle Kingdom will involve those people. 100%. It'll involve 2 of those people. 100% chance. Like not even 99. It's 100%. No one steps up in this company. Everyone just fucks up. Simple as that, you know? There's like a few factions. Each faction has like their guy, like their golden boy, and that's what happens. You know? It's the same old shit. I didn't enjoy it at all. It makes me realize like how much better American wrestling is, really. Like they can say all they want. Oh, this is great wrestling. But all they did was like, it's like a 40-minute match. The first 10 minutes are doing absolutely nothing, right? And then it's just like one big move and then rest period. One big move, rest period. One big move, rest period. It's garbage, man. It's shit. New Japan sucks, motherfuckers. All right. That's all I gotta say about that. Now, I don't know if I'm gonna do another video for what's it called, for night 2 up in this bitch, but I am gonna do a end of the year type video talking about the best wrestler, the best show, worst show, things like that. I haven't gotten around to doing it yet because I don't know what categories I'm gonna use. Because my plan is just to set up the categories, and then as I rant about it, come up with the winners up in this bitch. You hear me? All right, my folks. I'll see you guys later, then. Take care of yourselves, bitches.